So let's talk about this news that dropped today. Breaking news. The Department of Justice Civil Rights Division is going to investigate the shooting of Alex Pretti. Now, this is breaking news because it dropped today. So by definition, you're hearing about it first today. It's called breaking news. But I also want to address all the people that called me names when this first happened last week. Remember, last week we all woke up to the death of. I won't inflame many of you by saying murder or assassination or execution. I'll just say the death of Mr. Pretti. That was Monday. And then Tuesday. Wednesday, we weren't on the air. Thursday, we've been talking about this. And I've been telling you this was a bad look. I said this. I said this was a bad look. I said this is another example, going back to Renee Good, that's going to hurt us in November. This is what I said last week. I said it. No, he shouldn't interfere. He's obstructing. He's a protester. He's an agitator. All the spin. And it changed. It went from he was brandishing a gun to he shouldn't have been there to it's his own fault to FAFO. All of this spin. Then it came out later this week. He kicked and broke a taillight of a federal car. Yeah, he deserved to die a week and a half later. And today, the Department of Justice under Donald Trump is investigating the death of Alex Pretti. So once again, I'm so tired of coming on the radio and being right all the time. Yes, I'm saying this out loud. You should be more humble, Shelley. Why? I wasn't humble when I called Trump before the election that he was going to win all the swing states. He was going to win the Electoral College, and we would know that night. No, I didn't have to be humble then because you agreed with me. Yeah, Shelley. Yeah, you're my guy. Then I tell you something else and something else and something else. I tell you Marjorie Taylor Greene, you should listen to her because she's right. Oh, she's a turncoat. Get rid of her. She's right. You all need to understand something. First thing you need to understand is that many of us take this seriously, what we do every night on the radio. You're just a keyboard warrior on Facebook and Twitter. You also need to understand something else, that many of us don't look at incidences or issues in a vacuum. We look at it, we go back and we go forward and we look at the ramifications of everything. It's what we do. That's what they pay us to do. Some of us don't do it. Many of us do. I do. And when I was talking all week about the death of Alex Pretti, what I was trying to explain to all of you was this was a bad look. But you had to double down. No, it wasn't. He got what he did. All the stuff that you said. And it shifted from day to day based on what you were being told by your favorite talkers or your favorite network or your favorite Twitter follow. It shifted. Now today, Friday, it's announced. The Department of Justice Civil Rights Division is investigating the death of Alex Pretti, which means what they find, they find. And trust me, I understand the Fox guarding itself, the Fox investigating itself, take it with a grain of salt. But the fact that they're even doing an investigation, the fact that they're even announcing an investigation means that the White House and the Department of Justice and everyone involved knows it was a bad look, which was the original statement said by me last week. But you wanted to argue with me. You wanted to fight me. You wanted to say all kind of mean things to me. Some of you even dropped me. You know how many people that followed me on social media, Magic Mike, who dropped me this week because of my take on Alex Pretti? And here we are at the end of the week, excuse me. And what do we see? The Department of Justice doing a civil rights investigation. I mean, the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice is investigating the death of Alex Pretti. Because I told you from the very beginning, the first comment I made on my Facebook page, this is not a good look. And let me tell you why it's not a good look. According to a Gallup poll, 27% of Americans identify as a Republican, self-identify as a Republican. 27% of Americans identify as Democrat. A full 45% of Americans identify as independents. Now, some of that is due to the fact that the parties are not doing anything for the people that they profess to care about. Republicans run on cutting spending and reducing the deficit, and then they get elected, and they have all three branches of government: the White House, the Senate, and the House. And then not three branches of government, but the House, the White House, the Senate, and the Congress, and the White House, and the House, the Senate, and the White House. All three branches, and they still don't cut spending or reduce the deficit. So people get mad at that. People don't like to be lied to. The Democrats talk about men and women's sports and men can have babies and all the crazy stuff they talk about. So people say, I'm not going to identify with that. I'm not with that party. And more and more people say they're independent. But you know what the number one reason why so many people are choosing to be independents over siding with a party? It's not necessarily the politicians not doing anything that they say they're going to do. That's kind of what they've always done, right? That's nothing new. You know what it is? It's the people in those parties driving people out and away from those parties. If you lean right, you'd rather be an independent than to be in the same party with people that identify as Republican. If you're Democrat or you lean left, you'd rather be an independent than be aligned with people that identify as Democrats. That's what's driving so many people to be independent. Because they don't want to be in the same club. They don't want to live under the same roof with crazy people. And so 27% of Americans self-identify as Republican, and 27% of Americans self-identify as Democrats. A full 45% of the people say, I don't want to be nutbags in a nutbag hotel with any of these folks. I'm an independent. That's what they're saying. The politicians are not driving people to become independent. The people in the parties are driving people to become independent. Pay attention to that. That's what I've been trying to tell you all for the last several months. And all you can do is scream and call names and think, oh, this is going to win people over. Let me call them stupid. This is Shelley Winter Show. Coming up next, a new segment called Rant On. You can start calling now, 448-720-0750, 1-800-WSB-TALK. We will be right back.